Hi, I'm Emma Oakes, and I'm the president and founder of Perfect Fit Canines Campus Scholars. We are at our Perfect Fit Canines Campus Scholars Halloween Service Puppy Fashion Show rehearsal, our second one of this weekend. We're practicing running through the lineup and the walks and just changing the dogs in and out of the costumes and making sure that there's no fitting problems and we can do this in a timely manner. So we're going to have 10 dogs there, and each dog is going to be exhibiting 2 costumes. We have some individual costumes and some paired costumes. We also have a lot of education incorporated into our presentation, especially about like what service dogs do and proper service dog etiquette. So I started this club 1 year ago. I had raised a service dog when I was in high school, and when I came to college, I didn't really have enough time to raise one, and I noticed that most organizations were really far away from where I lived in Squirrel Hill, and I didn't have a car. So once I got a new job where I had a little bit more time, I contacted Perfect Fit Canines and asked them if they wanted to start the student organization with me, and they actually said, like, yes, we've been actually wanting to do this for a while, but we don't know any students at Pitt, so it kind of just worked out perfectly, the timing. We had a very small club to begin with, but this year actually we've grown immensely. I mean, we went from just me and Aiden last year to there's 9 dogs in our program now. So obviously I have to kind of take care of him before I take care of me. We wake up and I take him to the bathroom, I feed him, and then I get ready and he just kind of like hangs out with me. Sometimes I do bring him with me to school, other days I don't, and he just stays in the crate at home. It just depends on what kind of mood he's in. Dogs are just like people. Sometimes they want to work and sometimes they really don't, and they'll let you know. But days that Aiden is ready to work and I need him to come with me, we take the bus together and he comes to my classes with me. If I'm here later on campus, I'll bring some dinner and use the collapsible bowl that I have attached to my backpack to feed him. You have to be really prepared. It's kind of like being a mom. That's a difficult one. We have to measure their progress really individually, I think, because each dog is really different. And puppies go through a lot of phases. They go through a couple fear periods where they're skeptical of basically everything, and they are really distracted by things that wouldn't have distracted them before. I guess the way that we would measure their progress is like when we come across a problem area, we see kind of how over time we can work that out, and we try different approaches, like different training methods to try to weed this problem behavior out, like chasing squirrels, or if they don't like understand a command thoroughly, or they can't like extend that command to other situations other than the one they were like originally taught in. So once they're finished with their training, they're usually about 2 years old, and then they're given to the clients that they're going to work for, so a disabled individual, likely from Pennsylvania, and they will work as a facility service dog or an autism service dog. We've placed PTSD service dogs and also balance dogs before in the past too. So they will be working as one of those, most likely. I think my club definitely positively impacted Pitt, and on very many different levels. We affected some policy change because last year when I started this club, I was told by the Office of Disability Resources and Services that I couldn't train dogs on campus. Only service dogs that were working for people were allowed. But Perfect Fit Canines hired a lawyer, and we talked to them about this extensively, and they've removed this ruling that says that we can't train service dogs on campus. And also on the level of like the individual, people in my classrooms really love when I bring my dog with me. People in the hallway think it's so cute. We all have a social media page for our dogs on Instagram, and people love following those and reading the captions. Most of the time they're about like training or some kind of progress that they've made. So I think what we're trying to do is spread education and also some puppy happiness that just comes from like being around a dog. I think about this a lot. I'm not really sure. I'm graduating in the spring, and I would like this to stay here. I think that it's popular and solid enough that it will continue after I leave. As far as like the volume of puppies we have, it's really up to Perfect Fit Canines, our partner organization, who actually provide the dogs and are the nonprofit company that we work through. I hope it keeps growing. I hope we can educate the whole Pitt community about service dogs and how you should act around them, basically just ignoring them, because they're supposed to be paying attention to their handlers. I hope we become something that everybody knows about. We aren't necessarily actively recruiting new members. We kind of just keep accumulating them. We've definitely gotten popular enough that like people are telling their friends about it. We get inquiries every single day in our email and like puppy raiser and sitter applications. I think for the rest of this school year, we're not going to add any more puppies to the program, or at least until maybe the end of spring. So we're not looking for any more raisers and only a few more sitters, but we get applications every single day. And like I said, our email list is very, very long, and there are a lot of volunteers that want to help otherwise, like other than the puppies. Basically do what everybody's been doing. If they would like to be a part of this club, they can follow us on Facebook or Instagram and figure out when we're going to have our meetings, and all they have to do is show up to meetings. You have to show up to meetings, and there's no like dues or forms that you need to fill out. We just want to have your presence and your contribution there. Just get involved, speak up, and say what you want to do, how you want to help.